Hey guys, Sergito here again with another gaming video. This time around I want to kind of talk about fun, fast, friendly games. Not so much role-playing games, even though we all know that I am a role-playing game fanatic. As I've mentioned maybe in previous videos, or if you know me online, you know I've mentioned it before, there is a new gaming store that opened near me. It's probably within maybe 6 to 10 minutes of my house, not very far away at all. And since I've been there, I've had a great opportunity to play tons of games. Board games, card games, dice games, role-playing games. I've even played some HeroClix miniature stuff. I've played tons of different games in the time that I've had a chance to hang out there. And since then, I've actually purchased several games here. And it's come to my realization that it's come to me rather in a realization that some of these games that are fast and fun and friendly, while they may not be role-playing games, they can be perfect for a role-playing group. They're generally, in a way, oriented toward geeks and gamers in some ways. Some of them aren't, but all of them are very much fun. So I kind of want to talk about a few of those right now. The first one I want to talk about is Zombie Dice. It's from Steve Jackson Games. I've got it right here in front of me. Zombie Dice. Let's go ahead and show you that. It's $13.13 because, you know, Steve Jackson has a good sense of humor. And it's your local retailer. They don't just have it at game stores, they have it other places as well. When you first buy it, you'll see the tube here, as well as 3 dice situated on top in a blister pack. It'll look like that with these on top like this, you know. But what the game is it's 13 different dice. When you open it up, you'll have this rule sheet inside that explains the game, but you really don't need this sheet because it's extremely simple. If you've played Farkle, Bunko, or anything like that, you'll understand how to play this game. The way it works is, again, you have the dice. You'll have a red die, or 3 red dice, 4 of the yellow dice, and 6 green dice. Now, the color of the dice does make a difference. On the dice, you'll see that there is brains, shotgun blasts, and footprints. Now, what it means is you are a zombie. You playing the game are a zombie. When you roll brains, that means you caught your victim and you're now feasting upon their brains and enjoying a lovely meal. And if you roll shotgun blasts, that means that your victim has succeeded in getting away from you by damaging you. They've shot you with a shotgun or stabbed you or whatever it happens to be. If you roll footprints, that means that your victim did nothing to you, but they're running away. So, what you do, you put all the dice in the cup, and I apologize for the noise. You shake the cup up. You reach into the cup, and you grab out 3 dice, like this. You roll the 3 dice. I just rolled 2 footprints and a shotgun blast. All shotgun blasts and brains you set to the side. If you roll footprints, you keep those dice and grab more dice out of the cup so that you go back up to 3. And you roll again. And then you keep doing that. Once you hit 3 shotgun blasts, your turn is over, and none of the brains that you've collected for that turn get to count. At any time, you can stop the turn when you wish. The first person to get to 13 brains, that's when the game will start to end. What I mean by start to end is any players that haven't gone that round get to still go until the end of the round. Whoever has the most brains at the end of that round is the winner. Now again, going back to the colors, the red ones, they have more shotgun blasts on them than anything else. The yellow ones have more footprints on them than anything else, and the green ones have more brains than anything else. So there is a bit of a strategy sort of in the game a little bit if you've already rolled your red dice and you've got them set aside as brains or shotgun blasts, and mostly what you have left is green dice in the cup. Then that means obviously that you have more of a chance to roll brains, and you might want to push your luck a little bit more to keep going. But it's a great game. It's fun. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can check out zombiedice.sjgames.com. They do have a free app for Zombie Dice on iPhones and iPads. Unfortunately, only iPhones and iPads. But still, it's a great game to check out. And one game of this, depending on how many players you have, lasts anywhere from 15 to 35 minutes, maybe. I've never had a game. I've had 6 players and never had a game last longer than like 40 minutes at the absolute most. But that's a good game to check out for fast, friendly games. Another game that I like that I found at the, again, local gaming store that they recommended is a game called Nuts. It's a very simple game. It's really easy to play. Let's see here. Let's check the box. Recommended for 2 to 6 players, 13 and up. Takes between 5 and 15 minutes to play a game. Now, even though they say you can play with 2 players, and you know it's definitely possible, I personally don't recommend it because it's actually kind of boring. But once you get 3 people or more, that's when it gets more fun. Open up the box. You'll get the Nuts rule sheet. Again, it's an extremely simple game, so you won't really need that too much. Inside the box, you'll have 2 decks. You have one deck, which is your standard action deck, and the backs of that look like this. Okay? And then that's the one that has all the different actions and things that are in the game that you'll need to do various things to the other players. And then you have your Nuts deck, and those look like this. A action card looks like this, and if you can read that from there, yes, that card does say mouthful of nuts. That's part of the fun and the wonderful play with this game. The nuts cards are literally nuts. It's like beech nut, and you'll have an acorn and peanuts are in here, and chocolate nuts, things like that. So different kinds of nuts. But the object is to use your action cards, because each round people will get nuts in front of them as part of the gameplay, and your object is to use the nuts cards, or the action cards, to steal each other's nuts, so that you'll end up getting with, I believe it's 15 nuts in front of you, and the first person who gets 15 will win. But the best part about this game is if you're playing with a bunch of like-minded, gutter-brained people like myself, it's hilarious because you have cards like this one, touching your nuts. Then, you know, the one I mentioned before, the mouthful of nuts. And then we've got who's got the biggest nuts. What else do we have in here? We have racking your nuts. Oh, there's things in here like defending cards, because you can defend against when people are. Here we go. Grab your nuts with both hands. What else we got here? Touching your nuts, poking your nuts, smacking your nuts, master grab. What else we got here? Nudging your nuts. Nobody touches the nuts. Now, there's a bunch of different keep your nuts safe, protect your nuts. One good nut deserves another. Swift kick in the nuts. It's tough to lose in nuts, light of nuts, etc., etc., etc. So it's a very quick game. It's easy for kids of a bunch of different ages. I know on here it does recommend ages 13 and up, but I've seen a kid as young as 8 years old in the store playing this game, and he got it pretty easily and pretty quickly. So that's a nice one. Again, only takes about a half hour. So, especially both of these, and actually the one I'm getting ready to mention, all together, if you play these maybe while you're waiting for some people to show up to your game, so, you know, if you're looking at something like that, that's a great idea. Or maybe, you know, you finish your session for the night, but the time you allotted for the session is not over, and you don't really want to go home. People are still wanting to just screw around and play some games and stuff. They're great for that. So is this last one. This last one I'm leaving for last because it's got to be the most hilarious idea for a game that I've ever seen. This game is called Pooh. Yes, that's a monkey on the front. Yes, this game is all about monkeys flinging poo at each other. It's a hilarious game. I've played this with people of all different ages. Just like the last one, this is expected for, or preferred for 2 to 8 players. 8 and up, 5 to 15 minutes to play a game of Pooh. Again, you open the box, got your rules here. Again, very simple, not very big. You just got one sheet on the rules. But the cards, again, you'll have action cards, event cards, blocking cards, defense cards, etc., etc. But we got some great Pooh related jokes in here. Like we have Bonzo Pooh, we have Mighty Joe Young Pooh, we have King Kong Pooh. There's Dip in the Pool is a great card. It's you take some Pooh counters off of yourself. Pellet Pooh. Yes, I said Pellet Pooh. Remember I said King Kong Pooh a moment ago? There's that one, King Kong Pooh. Screaming Mimis. There's different little events in here, like trying to find a couple of my favorites. Give me just a moment. There's a couple of them there. What else here? What else? We got Devil Pooh. Devil Pooh is a hilarious card. It's basically where everybody gets Pooh counters. We've got Montezuma's Revenge. Montezuma's Revenge card. It's you play it on someone right as they're getting ready to play a Pooh card on someone else, and that person will take 2 Pooh on themselves, and they can't do anything about it. Then there's a Cramp card. When someone's about to throw Pooh, they unfortunately get a cramp, and they doesn't end up doing anything. Then we've got Not in the Face. Is a defense card. You can stop Pooh from getting flung at you. That's a good card. It's pretty funny. Here's another one called the Sprinkler System. It's basically where it's just what it sounds. The sprinkler system comes on and starts rinsing everybody off, getting the Pooh off of them, taking the Pooh counters away. One of the things that's funny about the game, at least the way we play it, if you happen to buy this game, you just get these decks of cards. You don't get anything else. So you're normally spent, your time is normally spent, I should say, writing down everybody's Pooh totals. And one thing I've noticed in playing this game is that it goes very, very quickly unless you're using that method, using the pencil and paper method. Because if you use the pencil and paper method, you're changing constantly every single turn. Your Pooh totals are changing. So whoever's stuck keeping score, so to speak, is going to have a lot of time spent doing that. And I don't think that person's going to have as much fun. So what I've devised is a way to change that. Before I do that, I want to show my last couple of favorite cards here. We've got It's on the Lights, as in the Pooh is on the lights. We've got Buddy's Face. Sounds exactly what it is. When someone throws Pooh at you, you grab somebody next to you and they take the Pooh in the face instead of you. And lastly, my favorite card, Just a Fart. When someone is trying to play Pooh against you, you play that card, and it turns out that that Pooh's worth 0 because it wasn't a Pooh after all. It was just a fart. One of the things you'll notice that I want to point out real quick before I move on is that there's no actual Pooh shown on the cards. They try to keep that as kid-friendly as possible without being gross and graphic. Be that said, what I've found, as I was mentioning before, for counting the Pooh instead of pencil and paper, are these. Homemade Pooh counters. I just made them with some polymer clay. Just kind of rolled them out and spiraled them up like that. Just little piles of Pooh. I have 60 of them here in a bag, and this is what I use when I play the game, because it's much easier to keep track of your Pooh coming in and out. And that was a bad pun, I'm sorry. Anyway, your total's changing constantly from turn to turn. So look into some of these games. Again, we have Pooh, we have Nuts, and we have Zombie Dice. 3 great games that are wonderful and take very short amount of time to play. Another one that I enjoy that I don't own yet, I will be picking up soon, is Cthulhu Dice, also made by Steve Jackson Games. Also a very quick game and very much fun. So go check those out at your local gaming store. Spend some money, support them, and have fun. Play games.